Cleo's Closet. If you did not know already, it's your girl Cleo. So yes, I am back with my AAU review. I have great news. It has been a difficult and very, very expensive semester. I'm pushing it and I'm making it through, and get ready for a whole long video because we're gonna be talking about the school per usual. I usually do academics, school life, and then dorm. So I think I'm gonna do backwards just to switch it up. But before I jump into this, you beautiful, wonderful, amazing people, I don't mind answering people's questions when you DM me, when you leave me comments here, when you snap me. I don't mind, but please, please, please look through my AAU review videos before coming and asking me questions, because I get repeated questions that I have answered through my videos over and over and over again. I don't mean to be rude, just be like, hey, just watch my video. It's just like, it's so repetitive, and I don't want to say it's annoying because I know it's not your fault. Maybe this is, you just saw one video and you know, you just assume that's the only video I have out there. I will link the playlist down below of all my AAU videos so you all can just have something to look at. So first one, dorm life. Dorm life has been interesting. So I moved into the same dorm that I was in last year, so I was able to get back in here. I actually have a roommate now because I wanted to go cheaper, which was a really good idea, you know. Although, like I've told you guys before, I grew up as an only child, so I had my own space. I didn't really share with anyone, and like my first roommate, she was very quiet and kept to herself and stuff. But having 4 roommates in total is kind of a lot, but I keep to myself. This year I really don't like my room per se, just because if you see my dorm tour, which I will also link down below, you saw where my room was. After a while I realized how much I need sunlight. But when you're someone who used to suffer in depression, sunlight is key. And if you've seen, again, my dorm tour, I have giant wall windows, so I open the curtains in the morning and it's like just refreshing. It's like it just hits me, and the sunlight just, I don't know, energizes my body. My room literally just sits in darkness, and I just have basically this overhead light, and I personally don't like that. And I don't like sitting out in the dining room, because I know some people are like, why don't you do that? It's because the seats are so uncomfortable. I hate the stools. The red chairs are terrible. Yeah, no, I just really hate being out there. Oh, and then my roommate also has a cat. The cat's really interesting and steals my hair ties and also my beauty blender, but besides that, I guess it's okay. For social life, so there's one thing I've noticed this semester, especially with my sisters. One, my sisters Michelle and Sabria are the only friends I have at the Academy of Art, because I'm a total introvert. That's my fault. But what we realize is, like, we have no life. Like freshman year and a little bit of sophomore year, we used to go out all the time. We used to do fun things while still passing our classes, you know, and we were watching all the freshmen come in and out, like having a whole bunch of fun. And we're at the art cafe at 6 o'clock at night, and we're like, what are we doing with our lives? The older you get, or like the more towards the end of like your schooling, I'm talking about like junior, senior year, you have no life at all. So I had basically zero social life. Still haven't gone to a bar. Everyone's so surprised about that. I'm 22, I've never been to a bar. Socially, like going out, partying stuff, I didn't do any of that. Sorority wise, I will say I have gotten so much closer to most of my sisters. Going back to vlog 15, when I showed you guys I have my littles, I did get close to my littles, and they're girls in the sorority. New girls in the sorority I've gotten closer to, but the older girls I definitely have gotten closer to, which I really do appreciate. When you join a sorority, you know, you can't expect to be friends with every single person, you know. It's not that they hate you, it's nothing personal against you. People just tend to click easier with other people. And this year I basically kind of clicked with like all my old sisters, you know, and I feel happier when I am around them, and it's just hard to explain. Just anytime I'm with them, I can literally FaceTime any of my sisters and talk to them. I can message all of them. I don't know what it is about this year specifically, but I've gotten so much closer to all of them, and it's really just been the best. On top of that, I have also become vice president of the sorority. Next semester is going to be a challenge and I will go into why in the academic portion, but I'm really ready for the challenge, and I'm completely ready for what is to come. On to academics. Academics has been a total whirlwind the last 2.5 years that I have been here. First class, 15th century. I suck at history. I failed progress. I failed midterms. I literally had to get my butt in gear, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna push and I'm gonna try. And he saw that I was trying, so he was passing me with a C+. He's like, Cleo, you know, I see you're trying and I'm doing it, but like, I don't think you're really understanding. I'm like, look, I'm trying to get this to the best of my ability. You tell me it's one thing and I see it as one thing and I think I'm correct, and then you message me and be like, no, I need you to explain this again. And I'm just like, okay, because right now we have to write an essay basically for our final assignment, and he's been giving us little assignments usually like we do every week, and I usually get C+ because I don't understand it. And so the last assignment, our student portals do this whole maintenance thing, and it went maintenance from 10:30 to 12:30 a.m. and we have to turn it in at 12 a.m. and I'm like freaking out. Luckily, we have to turn it in on 2 different sites, so on our portal and then also our turnitin.com. So I turned it in on turnitin.com on time. It's just the portal I didn't, so I let him know and he still passed me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get another C. I checked my grade today, it's an A-, and I'm like, what did I say? Global marketing. That's another class I don't like, I don't pay attention, and I don't understand, but I get my work done. That is my dryer. I got a D-. I did not do the case study. I did not turn in the case study. My ink kept like skipping lines. I go to the library, all of them are like literally shot. I just didn't go to class because I was so embarrassed because I didn't have my midterm, and then he failed me. Not really failed me. D- is passing, but still, it's bad. It's a bad look. So my advice to you guys, if you're gonna print something, if you have an assignment, do it right away. Do not procrastinate. Procrastination's like my best friend, and I'm trying to like end that friendship. Before I get into these 2 classes, I just want to say, if you have ever thought about printing at Office Depot or Office Max, don't do it. It's a terrible company and they shouldn't be around at all. I had 2 things printed because Office Depot is just cheaper and they have a lot of coupons. So I went to go print there and it said, oh, would you like to print in store or would you like to get it sent to you? And I was like, I'm gonna get print in store because it's like maybe a 10-15 minute walk from my dorm. And it said, okay, it'll be 1 to 3 business days. That's all it said. So I'm like, okay, cool. 4th day comes, nothing. I call them and they're like, oh, we don't print here. We sent it out. I go check my receipt online. Estimated time available was Tuesday the 18th. I needed these by the 16th at the latest. It didn't say anything on your site. It didn't say anything anywhere about this not being able to print at this store. You need to fix your crap. So I called the main office of Office Depot and they said it'll be there Tuesday or Friday. No, Tuesday or Friday. It'll be there Thursday or Friday. Friday comes and I'm just like, okay, it's not here. I call Friday night. They're like, oh, your order's ready. No one emailed me. No one texted me. So it was just sitting there. And I'm like, are you effing kidding me right now? So I'm never using Office Depot again. I'm definitely just gonna save more coin if I need to print out another book. But let's just go into the 2 classes. My digital techniques class, where I learned how to use Adobe. We had to create a book talking about a brand that we are creating, and I created Dauntless. It is a statement purse brand. So this original picture was like her husband was supposed to get her diamonds, but he bought her gloves and it said diamonds. How many times did I tell him diamonds? But I just replaced it with handbag. This is just our line sheet for what we're selling. You know, it's basically all my project. The teacher worked way too fast for me, honestly. Like, I'd be looking at the computer screen, do something, look up, and she's 5 steps ahead. I literally would not work in class unless we had to put something in our process book. I would go home, and on our portal there would already be videos to explain what to do, and the videos explained better than what she did, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't like this. Oh, and then homework assignments were just so confusing because she's like, oh, we'll just look at the guides that like I have in the portal. And then I'm like, okay, I don't remember her saying this. I would do the homework. She's like, oh, let's do next week. I'm like, then why? Why do you have it in the guide for this week? I will admit though, there is a lot of things that I've learned from the class and stuff that I actually use for editing thumbnails for my YouTube channel or just like helping with my other classes. I'm not gonna say the class wasn't useful, it's just the teacher was a little bit And then my last class, my favorite class, kind of. This is my brand marketing class. This is also my halfway class. Basically what that means, at Academy of Art, we have a midpoint, and midpoint is basically talking to our directors, and we're telling them what we learned and how we've kind of flourished over the years. And so this whole class, I've just kind of been learning how to brand, you know, myself. I decided to make a lingerie line, and this is kind of the book that came out of it, you know, fun stuff. He was a very nice man. He was very, very nice. He gave us a lot of passes, like if we didn't finish something in class, we didn't finish homework that we're supposed to present in class, he would send us a link to Dropbox where we could turn it in, and he would still grade us for it like it wasn't a late assignment, which I really appreciated. He was a little bit forgetful. I would email him asking for help on things, and he would never email me back. Going back to the midpoint, I didn't know what I needed because my friend, she was fashion design, and her teacher basically helped her throughout class because she had to build something, but I didn't know what I needed, and I didn't know how to ask, and Bill was like the main one for the class since he is halfway class, and apparently they just weren't giving him information, but he wasn't relaying that to me. The last week of school, no, 2 weeks before school ends, one of the director comes in, she's like, oh, well, you guys have the midpoint next week, which was this week. And all they want to see is old projects that we've done and things that we've learned. They give us specific classes that they were looking for and whatnot. So I'm like scrambling to like find my stuff. I went ahead and talked to the directors and whatnot. They said that they liked my work and they thought it was creative. I made the mistake of telling them about my YouTube channel, but they thought that would be a good thing to add onto my resume, and I'm thinking about doing that just because I do want to work in PR and work with social medias, brand marketing, other things like that. So yes. I talked to my academic advisor and I was looking over everything and I miscalculated, and I got excited because I'm like, oh, I can actually graduate next year, not 20 and 21, because I told you guys before I did mess up a semester. I got hyped and I told some of my friends, and then I talked to my advisor and she's like, actually no, you still have to take classes in 2021, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. So I basically made my schedule for the next year and a half, and so I can graduate 2020 and I can officially say I'm a junior now. So next semester is going to be really busy. I'm taking 5 classes. I'm going to be a VP of Sigma Delta. I'm running YouTube. I'm going to have a job because I'm trying to move out, and there's just going to be a whole, there's so much happening. There's so much happening, but I am excited for next semester. I'm taking on the challenge because I know I can do it. Okay guys, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and while you're down there, become another hanger in our closet. I do make videos every Friday/Saturday, so if you want to be notified by that, you can hit the bell below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.